So you might have missed the Star Wars issue number 6 release yesterday, and I don't blame you because we got an abundance of content these couple of days. We got the Mandalorian trailer on Tuesday, we got 2 Bombad comic releases on Wednesday alone, we got Darth Vader issue number 5, which we covered yesterday, and also at the same time we got issue number 6 of the Star Wars comic series ongoing on 2020, and this is what we're gonna cover for today, so strap on because it is completely crazy. I would say this is one of the rarest comic issues of Star Wars that actually rivals the Darth Vader comic series, which is really hard to say for me because I really enjoy the Darth Vader comic series and I know you guys do too, but Luke Skywalker will go on a crazy mission on this issue. So let's not procrastinate anymore, let's dive right into it. So in the previews, which I covered a week ago, we see R2 saving Luke Skywalker from Verla and from basically drowning. Not only does he get Luke out of the water, but he also revives him using electroshock and performing CPR on the young Jedi. Right on the next page, we see Verla gaining consciousness as she gazes upon R2-D2 and Luke Skywalker cooking food for them, and she has been tied up. Now Luke picks up the knife, approaches Verla, and in this threatening manner, Verla takes it as nothing more than Vader's son. Of course, he would kill her in cold blood, but Luke only knew one thing, that he was Luke Skywalker, as he cut the ties and let Verla go free. Verla, of course, knew that name. She knew Skywalker had ultimately become Darth Vader. She didn't even really know Anakin's name at the beginning. She called him Aravan Skywalker, but it was actually Anakin Skywalker, and of course Luke wanted to know everything about his father. Ben and Yoda did not give him much information on that. Unfortunately, Verla did not know a lot as well. She was a student of Farron Bar, the Jedi that survived Order 66, but throughout the years she had become bitter. Life in exile had turned her into an emotionless survivor. She would do anything possible just to escape Vader and his Inquisitors. Verla, though, was weirded out as to why Luke did not kill her. The opposite did happen. Verla was going to leave Luke to drown there and to die. But Luke gave out 2 reasons. First, he doesn't kill defenseless, unconscious people, and the second reason was he saw a vision in the Force, one he just could not ignore. He saw Verla holding a lightsaber out to Luke and offering it to him. Unfortunately, again, Verla did not have a lightsaber for Luke, but she did know a location where Luke could find it. The problem with all of this, though, was that Verla did not believe in the Jedi. She did not believe in the Sith, and she ultimately did not believe in the Force. As hinted at previously, she had grown accustomed to running from the Sith and the Inquisitors, and ultimately the Empire. She wanted nothing to do with that life anymore. The teachings of Farron Bar and how he wanted Verla to become this Jedi, this savior, this made Verla become more and more paranoid as the years went on. All she understood was surviving. Her conspiracy went even deeper. She believed that the Force uses people. She tried her best to become a Jedi. She spent years, long, deadly years, but then she realized for what? Because a dead man told her that the Force wanted her to do so that she could end up dead as the rest of the Jedi? She answered the Force with a simple no. She, in the end, decided to live free, maybe not happy all the time, but definitely free of the Force and all of its vague promises. Luke, though, being his stubborn self, simply said sorry to Verla, and he could help any way he can, but in the end, he needs a lightsaber, and the Force sent him to her for that. Does she know the location of a lightsaber? Verla now grew more agitated as she realized Luke wasn't listening to a word she actually said. The Force is a trap, according to Verla. It calls us with dreams of power or skill or just being able to change things. It's the same, light or dark, but the Force in the end will chew them up, use them for its purposes, whatever bizarre cosmic goals it's trying to achieve, and tells us its destiny. We aren't people to it, we're just tools named Jedi or Sith. By and large, what Verla wanted to defer to Luke or tell him is that he has a choice to just walk away, to not follow this path to bitterness. In the end, if you realize what we saw in The Last Jedi, Verla was actually seeing the ending, the truth of it all, that how Luke Skywalker ended up in the end. He is this naive and idealistical young Skywalker, but in the end, he ended up living the life that Verla did, away from it all, abandoning not only the Force, but his Jedi commitments as well. His removal from anything to do with the Force or the galaxy is what led to Snoke and Kylo Ren usurping most of the galaxy. The thing with Luke at this moment though is that he understood what Verla was saying, but the galaxy was suffering, and after everything he has seen, he is supposed to help in any way. Verla agreed to tell Luke where to find this blasted sword, as she called it, but under one condition. Luke was never to bother her again. She doesn't care what the Force says, she only wants for him to leave her alone, because next time she will be sure to kill him. Verla had actually been there before, a Jedi outpost from the High Republic days, but once she got inside, she felt this cold presence that was guarding the place, a cold darkness, and she did not stick around to find out what it was. She just ran. And if Luke is smart, he will run too. Now Luke was heading for Tempest, where Verla ultimately sent him. This was treacherous terrain as lightning was striking from all angles, but luckily Luke, being the pilot that he is, he landed safely and now was heading inside this Jedi outpost, where you could see the ruins of what was similar to a Jedi temple. Inside there was a holocron, and right beside it there was a lightsaber. Now remember what Verla said about the cold dark presence that guarded the place? It finally showed its face, and it was none other than the Grand Inquisitor himself. It seemed supernatural. He was engulfed in fire, and he also seemed to float. Luke was kind of disturbed as he asked, "Who are you?" But he told him that once he served the Jedi. He wielded a lightsaber like the one he is holding right now. Then he hunted Jedi in the service of Vader and the Emperor. Now I serve them still, and kill every seeker who follows the path that Vader created to this place. As the Grand Inquisitor ignited his lightsaber, he presumed that he always will be trapped in this place, but he was wrong. As Luke ignited his yellow blade, he would never kill a Jedi again. Elsewhere in the galaxy, we see a shuttle that is boarding Darth Vader. He is talking to Commander Zara about continuing their efforts to locate every rebel ship, and in a sudden second, he feels it. He feels it in the Force. He immediately turns around and tells the captain to set course for Tempest. He had sensed the presence of somebody there that he was wishing it would be the person he was persecuting, and that was, of course, his son, Luke Skywalker. Inside, Luke was furiously battling the Grand Inquisitor, who told him that he was handling this lightsaber like a child. It's funny how he calls himself a Jedi, but Luke did not. Maybe someday, but not yet. The Grand Inquisitor yelled out he would never become a Jedi, but Luke held out hope. He was in training yet, but he was not exactly a beginner, as he went toe-to-toe with the Grand Inquisitor, and trick after trick by the Grand Inquisitor left Luke Skywalker stumbling a bit, but in the end he started to learn the Grand Inquisitor's moves and the surrender to his emotions. Now the Grand Inquisitor kicked Luke Skywalker in the face as Luke dropped to the floor. The Grand Inquisitor knew one thing: belief in the Jedi cause did not save the Jedi, and it won't save him, as he raised his saber, wanting to strike Luke Skywalker once and for all. But in a sheer moment of power, Luke held out his hand and force pushed the Grand Inquisitor back, igniting his yellow blade again and cutting his right hand clean off. Not only that, but he sliced through the Grand Inquisitor, making him disappear from existence and what he assumed is flaming out. Now, with a lightsaber in his hand, Luke Skywalker would leave promptly, leaving what we see the remains of the Grand Inquisitor, an embarrassed Grand Inquisitor at that, trying to make excuses for Darth Vader, saying that Luke was strong, so strong. But in the end, Vader realized the only thing that was apparent: he had failed once more. The Grand Inquisitor was pleading with Vader. He had served for so long. Will there ever be a chance of release, as he was being held here captive against his will, guarding this Jedi outpost? But the Grand Inquisitor was just a tool for Darth Vader, shaped to serve his purposes. He will continue to do that. And in the grand words of the Grand Inquisitor, there are worse things than death, as he evaporated again from existence. His soul was practically trapped in this Jedi outpost, damned to live here forever and ever, as Vader wished. At the very least, this comic ends on an uplifting note. When Luke returns to the Rebel fleet, he sees Leia and the other rebels just downtrodden, their heads were down, and they saw the writing on the wall. They were soon to be extinct and destroyed, if not for a new Jedi, or should I say, a new hope. Exciting times were coming for the rebels, and it was to be continued in the next issue. But at the very least, this wasn't a cliffhanger per se. It concluded on an uplifting note and giving us multitudes of information. I mean, we now see that the Grand Inquisitor did not actually die. He is alive and his spirit enslaved in one of the Jedi outposts to serve Vader for eternity, basically. And Luke got his new lightsaber. This all culminates into a great comic that I read and I enjoyed a lot. Did you guys enjoy this comic? Talk to me down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching this video though, and if you enjoyed, leave a thumbs up down below, subscribe for dailies. Now you go have an awesome day, Star Wars fans. I'll see you in the next video, and may the Force be with you until then.